Back into the action, folks, on In My Own Words with yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. And we got a fun topic, entertaining one for you right now as we go to the In My Own Words hotline, picking up former Alabama wide receiver Matt Caddell, who played from 2003 to 07. Matt, are you ready to dive into Bama's version of The Last Dance?
I'm ready. Let's get it started.
We're going to get into Bama's version of The Last Dance, ladies and gentlemen. The Last Dance, the documentary of the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls in the 1990s. So Matt Caddell and I decided to kind of do some comparing and contrasting with the Chicago Bulls' Last Dance to this Alabama team for the upcoming season. So we'll start things off here with head coach Phil Jackson. So Matt, who would you compare to Phil Jackson in terms of Alabama?
Obviously, Coach Nick Saban, they draw a lot of comparisons. Both are championship coaches, great leaders. They bring the best out of each player. They have a great understanding and wisdom and knowledge of the game. They both feel like they're at their best when they're able to connect with the players on a personal level, as you can see with Phil Jackson's interaction with Dennis Rodman. And he's always in the player's corner. I believe they're two of the most influential coaches in sports history. They know how to manage different personalities and get the personal goals, have an understanding of each player and focus on the team, and know that those individual accolades and goals will come. And I believe what makes great coaches is if you know how to make adjustments throughout the game. And I believe Coach Saban and Phil Jackson have proved throughout their coaching tenure that they know how to make adjustments to win games, and it's proved by both of them winning multiple championships.
You're going with Nick Saban there, Matt. I'm going to go Coach Saban as well. And the reason I'm going to go with head coach Nick Saban is both guys know how to push the buttons to get the most out of each player. But not just the most out of each player. I feel like both coaches push the right buttons on their own coaching staffs. You see what Coach Saban does at Alabama. We have seen what Phil Jackson did on his staff with the Chicago Bulls. So pushing the right buttons, players and staff, is why I look at Coach Saban. So we now go to who would represent the offensive version of Michael Jordan. The scoring mentality, the mentality of if I'm going to get a bucket, I'm going to get a bucket. So for Alabama offensively, who's going to have that scoring mentality in your mind here, Matt?
I believe it starts with the quarterback play of Mac Jones. I believe Mac has a lot of great experience. He's been able to sit behind Tua, and really it's time for him to step up to the plate and him be that competitive leader, have that relentless pursuit to score, put the ball in the end zone, not turn the ball over, and really dominate the defensive opponents. And I think Mac is that Michael Jordan for this offense. Who is yours?
Well, Matt, I'm gonna ride with the same one. I'm gonna go with Mac Jones, and I'm gonna say Mac Jones in terms of the competitive fire. We know how competitive Jordan was. He didn't like to lose in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If he did, you would hear some words from Jordan that I can't say on this platform right here. So the same thing with Mac Jones. He hates to lose. I mean, in interviews we've had with him, he's talked about how he's been a winner everywhere he has been. You know, he and Coach Saban talk smack back and forth, just like MJ and Phil Jackson talk smack back and forth. So I'm going to go with Mac Jones as well offensively. But now we go to the defensive side, Caddell. You know, Jordan played defense too. So who would have to be the tough, get in your head, frustrate you type defensive player that Alabama needs, like Chicago had with Jordan?
I'm going to say Dylan Moses. I believe Dylan Moses is such a competitor on the defensive end. He's a great leader. I believe he's going to bring the best out of all the players, just as Jordan did. I believe Dylan is just, he's so hungry. He's so competitive. And I think he's ready to prove a point, make a statement, and be that, that Michael Jordan captain on the defensive end for our defense.
I like the move there, Matt, going with Dylan Moses. And for right now, we are sticking on the same playing field here. I'm going to go with Moses as well, but for a different reason. The reason I'm going Dylan here is going back to Jordan's first couple of years in the league, he had suffered an injury. It was a push for him getting to the top. But when he finally got on top in 1991, oh, how sweet it was. Kind of the same thing with Dylan Moses. He had the injury last year. He's been pushing to get to the top. He's been pushing to kind of be that guy. And I feel like this year, he finally gets to the top. He shakes off the injury bug. We see the full package of Moses come center circle, center stage. He will be big time. Well, folks, if you're just tuning into the show, we got the man Matt Caddell, former Alabama wide receiver, live here on the show on a Wednesday as we're breaking down Bama's last dance. We're taking the Chicago Bulls' last dance and we're putting the Crimson Tide spin on it. So now, Matt, we go to Scottie Pippen, and we're going to start with the defensive part of Scottie Pippen first. So who is your defensive Scottie Pippen for the Crimson Tide?
I'm going to say my defensive Scottie Pippen is going to be Christian Barmore. I think the pressure that he gives us, the energy, his instincts, the domination up front on the defensive line is really what's going to help our defense click from the secondary all the way up to the linebackers. He brings a lot of tenacity, a lot of high energy. He plays with a high motor, and I believe he will be a very complimenting piece up front for Dylan Moses and our defense to be effective this year.
So you got Barmore as your Scottie Pippen. Here is where we differ here, Matt. I'm going with Christian Harris as my Scottie Pippen. With Dylan Moses being Michael Jordan, Christian Harris is going to be right next to him at that weak side backer position. His ability to fly in there, blow plays up. He's got the speed. He's got the athleticism to play in coverage, as well as the speed and the elusiveness to avoid offensive linemen, shoot gaps, get inside, create havoc in the backfield. I like Christian Harris as my Scottie Pippen. But defense now to offense. Who is the offensive Scottie Pippen in your mind, Caddell?
My offensive Scottie Pippen is Najee Harris. He can affect the game in so many ways, whether it's running ball, in the passing game. I believe that's going to really help make our offense so balanced and effective where we'll be able to throw so many different looks against defenses that we have to face this year. And I think when Najee has great games on the ground, it opens up the passing game. When Najee has great games in the pass, it opens up the running game. I believe that just having Najee being an effective pass blocker, everything he does is going to really help our offense go to new heights this year.
Najee's a great one there, Matt. For me, give me Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith would be my Scottie Pippen just due to as underrated as Pippen was as an overall player. I feel the same as as underrated as Pippen was, Devontae Smith, just that underrated, can do everything. He can run the right routes. He can run precise routes. He catches every pass, doesn't drop a football. He works back to the quarterback. He's got deceptive speed. He's a guy that can attack the ball at its highest point. Despite his size, he's a very exceptional blocker. So Devontae Smith, just like Scottie Pippen, can do it all offensively and defensively for the Bulls. Devontae Smith, from a wide receiver standpoint, can do it all for the Crimson Tide. Moving on here, Matt, we go down to Dennis Crazy Man Rodman. Who is your Rodman, Matt Caddell?
My Dennis Rodman. As much as I want to say Reuben Foster and Rolando McClain, I think our Dennis Rodman for this year's team is going to be Christian Harris, I believe. You know, he's a young linebacker who's going to give us that defensive presence. He's going to play with a lot more confidence this year, emotion. And that's just going to unleash the greatness of Christian Harris on the defensive end. I think he's going to be in for a special year this football season.
So you've got Christian Harris, my crazy, wild, untamable Dennis Rodman, Christian Barmore. Barmore is my Rodman. I mean, this guy, energetic, passion. People love being around him. People enjoy being around him. He gives his effort. He gives his high energy every single game, every single week, every single time he's on the field. And we're going to get a chance to see more of that in the upcoming season. So I would have Barmore as my Rodman. But folks, we are joined live by the former Alabama wide receiver Matt Caddell, playing from 2003 to 2007 with the Crimson Tide, always joining us on a Wednesday. And Matt, hey, I had fun with this. I appreciate you coming on to always drop your knowledge, your expertise, your viewpoint on the Crimson Tide. And until next Wednesday, man, brother, you be good.
You take care. Now always, roll tide.
Enjoy having Matt Caddell here, just talking some Bama last dance, putting the Bama spin on those great Chicago Bulls teams. We go to another break right here on the show, but upon our return, we dive into more of your phone calls, thoughts, tweets, text messages, concerns. Bring them to us. We unpack them on the show after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month, or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.